They told me the property was condemned, that the land itself had been declared dead, not by any court or government, but by something older and far less forgiving. And yet I still bought the house because the price was laughable. The listing only said cash buyer, no inspection. And because I'd just been laid off, dumped, and left with nothing to lose, so I drove 3 hours off the grid to claim the rotting 2-story house at the edge of Hollowvale. A patch of land so desolate, even birds refused to fly over it, and the locals wouldn't speak its name out loud. The first thing I noticed was how silent everything was. Like sound had been stolen from the air itself. The trees didn't rustle. The wind didn't howl. Even my footsteps felt muffled on the gravel driveway and inside. The house seemed larger than it should have been. Ceilings too high, hallways that turned corners I didn't remember walking through. Mirrors that reflected parts of rooms that didn't exist. The air had weight. It smelled like rusted iron, spoiled milk, and scorched bone. At night the walls moaned, not creaked, not settled, but moaned long and wet, like a creature breathing in its sleep. And I found scratches along the floorboards, each one deeper than the last claw marks, in a spiral pattern that led directly under the house. The basement door was sealed with chains and nails that looked hundreds of years old, and someone had carved the words, "Do not open until ITS time" in dozens of languages into the wood. I didn't dare touch it, but the house did. Each night, I'd wake to find one chain snapped, then two, then more, until only a single rusted lock remained. And I'd hear a slow, dragging sound from beneath, like something was moving just inches below the floor. I tried to leave. The car wouldn't start. My phone showed no signal. Even the sun seemed to rise and set without direction. The days would vanish in moments or stretch into darkness that lasted for 20 hours. One night, I heard footsteps upstairs, heavy, measured, one step every 10 seconds. I stood frozen in the living room, flashlight in hand, heart pounding so loud I thought it would summon whatever was up there. And when I finally worked up the courage to investigate, the hallway upstairs was covered in red handprints, child-sized, too many fingers, all pointing toward the attic. In the attic, I found a chair surrounded by burned candles and a mirror wrapped in barbed wire. When I approached, the candles relit themselves, the door slammed shut behind me, and in the mirror I saw a figure behind me, tall, eyeless. Its skin stretched too tightly over bones that jutted out like blades. It didn't move, but it smiled. I screamed, smashed the mirror, and fled. But when I returned to the attic the next morning, the mirror was intact. That night, I woke up to find the final lock on the basement door had broken. The chain was on the floor. The door hung slightly open, and the scratching had stopped. I called out, desperate, hoping maybe something would answer with mercy. But what I heard was my own voice coming from below, whispering things I hadn't said yet. "Come down," it said. "We've waited long enough." I ran outside, barefoot, into the trees, but the woods bent around me. Every path led me back to the front steps. The house would not let me leave. Food rotted in my hands. Water turned black in the glass, and my reflection began to move on its own. I stopped seeing my face in mirrors, only the thing from the attic, watching, waiting. The journal I found under the floorboards was written in dozens of hands, all shaky and frantic, describing the same thing: it comes from underneath. Don't sit in the chair. You are only renting this body. When you hear it breathing, it's already seen your soul. The last page was soaked in blood, a perfect handprint pressed beside one sentence. You're the final one. I didn't understand what that meant until the basement door slammed open on its own and I saw the stairs leading down, impossibly long, descending far deeper than any foundation should allow. I tried boarding it up. The boards rotted overnight. I tried burning the house. The flames died instantly, like the oxygen refused to cooperate. I tried ending myself. I woke up on the living room couch. No wounds, just a note pinned to my chest, written in that same trembling handwriting. Nice try. She won't let go. Then came the dreams. Dreams of being dissected while still alive, of being surrounded by mirrors with no eyes, of hearing my mother's voice asking me to open the door. My mother's been dead for 6 years. I stopped sleeping. I started counting the seconds between breaths, afraid they'd never come again. I began seeing things during the day, faces in the wood grain, mouths opening in the walls, insects crawling from the faucets that spelled my name in blood. I tore up the floor, found bones, hundreds of them, infants, children, adults, all crushed, arranged into spirals, each one ending in a stone altar, carved with a symbol I can only describe as wrong as if it existed before geometry, before thought. I realized then the house wasn't haunted. It wasn't cursed. It was alive, a living organism, and I was inside it, a piece of it, and it needed me. I was part of some ritual, some ancient rhythm that had to be completed, and I was the final beat. The basement stairs creaked louder each night, like they were climbing up, and eventually something knocked on my door from the inside. The knock didn't echo. It absorbed sound, and when I didn't answer, the air got colder. My skin turned gray. My eyes started bleeding when I looked in mirrors. I hear music now, but it's not from this world. Violins made of bone, drums made from skin, and a choir of voices that chant my name over and over. I don't know how much longer I have. My veins move on their own. My heart skips when the house breathes. If you're reading this, you've already heard it calling. You've already seen its name carved into your dreams. Don't come here. Don't follow me. Don't look into the mirror tonight, because once it sees you, you're next.